call the meeting to order. I think my clock is saying it's 11:02. Before I start the meeting, we've got some guests here. Bailey Williams from the governor's office. Thanks for being with us today. Mike Peterson, former secretary of the department. Bobby Stem, who tries real hard to run the department. Bobby's my friend. I'm just pestering him. Grayson Artie's aeronautics director. Glad to have you. And we'll call the meeting to order, and if everybody's seated. Do we have any remote today?
Peterson, I'm remote.
Okay, we have 7 here and 1 remote and 1 absent. So I'm not going to read all this. You guys know how to vote and run the mics. As you vote remote, tell your name. Everybody else is here, but and at this time we'll have the roll call and then start the meeting.
Okay. Mr. Coburn, Mr. Grimsley,
Here.
Mr. Freimiller,
Freimiller here.
Mr. Shannon,
Present.
Mr. McCowan,
Present.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson here.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander here.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge here.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson remotely.
At this time, Secretary Getz, I'm going to turn it over to you for recognitions and special announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I'd like to open this morning with an introduction of our new Director of Strategic Communications, Jessica Brown. Jessica was selected to serve as Director of Strategic Communications for the Transportation Cabinet, as you recall, as part of our modernization. And our Strategic Communications Group will serve the Department of Transportation, Turnpike Authority, and the Aeronautics Commission. And in this new position, Jessica's going to engage all aspects of public relations and marketing to unify the communications and messaging among the Transportation Cabinet. She'll be a direct report to me as the Cabinet Secretary. And again, the position was developed as part of our modernization. Most recently, Jessica served as Chief of Strategic Engagement at the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, where she helped create a strong social media presence and develop numerous communications methods for agency staff and the public to ask questions of senior management, lead the development of promotional and informational videos for the agency's website and social media platforms. And she worked with state legislators to pass legislation related to correctional officers and served as the Department of Corrections Director of Communications and Government Relations. So we're really proud to have Jessica on the team. She's got a wealth of state government experience, good background in, and she worked also for more than a dozen years in broadcast news industry in several markets in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And she has a master's degree in journalism from the University of North Texas, a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism from Texas A&M University. And we're really, really proud to make the introduction and have her on the transportation team. So, Mr. Chairman, Jessica Brown. Welcome. I also this morning have an opportunity to recognize Brent Burwell with the Concrete Pavement Association, and he is going to tell us a little bit about an award, I believe, that we've got that goes to District 5. So, Brent, if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you, Secretary Getz. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, guests, it's my privilege to be here today to present this award. As you know, every year we present a number of awards to outstanding concrete pavement projects. And this one in particular was, we have a number of criteria we use: smoothness, quality, timeliness of completion, and uniqueness, and the challenge. This was a very challenging project, one of the first of its, well, it was the first of its kind in our state. And although it is viewed by most people as a bridge project, it also presented some very challenging paving problems. We had a number of typical sections on it, so the pavement width changes were very frequent, very difficult to get done. But the team handled it in a very professional manner. By all accounts, the field and the contracting personnel communicated well throughout it, because there were a lot of unknowns doing a new project like this. The end result was a very, I think, satisfying project to everybody. And I'm very happy to present this award to the I-40 State Highway 6 Diverging Diamond Interchange. So could we have those people come up? Whoever's going to accept the award.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioner Dyson.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Thank
You
you.
bet.
That's not the way here.
Going to do a quick photo.
Yes, if you don't mind. Not at all.
Sorry about
Just keep going and get right.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you, Brent and Brent Almquist and the group in Division 5 and all the work that they've done. That interchange and that facility is something that we're all extremely proud of. It moves traffic very efficiently. And again, that diverging diamond design, that was our first one, but it won't be our last. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
At this time, item number 90 is for the approval of the minutes of the transportation meeting for June 7. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
Yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Passed by majority, passed unanimous, rather. Item number 90, item number 91, land sales. No, we have the consent docket as item number 91, excuse me. Are there any discussion on details from any of the committees on item number 91? Otherwise, do I hear a motion for the approval of the consent docket?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCowen, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
The result is unanimous. Item number 92 is engineering contracts by Mr. Tigler.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. Item 92 are my engineering contracts this month. I have 3. Part A is a statewide, all districts, on-demand preliminary engineering, site plans, and inspection for railroad crossings. The department has selected J. Webb and Associates to provide preliminary engineering, site plans, and inspection for the railroad crossings. The aggregate not to exceed amount for this contract is $350,000. Part B, Cleveland County and District 3. Department has selected Garver to prepare construction plans for US 77. Total not to exceed amount is $577,909. This project is included in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date in 2025. And finally, Part C in Cole County, also in District 3. Department has selected EST to prepare construction plans for State Highway 48. Total not to exceed amount is $701,419. This project is also included in the 8-year construction work plan and scheduled let date in 2028. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions that you gentlemen have this morning.
You've heard the proposal. Do I have a motion for approval?
I make motion approved.
Second. Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frommuller,
Miller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Carried unanimous. Mr. Pigel, you may continue with item number 93.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 93, I have one part this month for our supplements to the engineering contracts. This is Stevens County, District 7. Department previously authorized professional engineering consultants to prepare final design plans for State Highway 53. The supplement not to exceed amount is $13,500. This project is included in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date in 2021. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions that you have this morning.
Do I have a motion for approval?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Yes.
Mr. Frommuller,
Miller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 94 is change orders with a cumulative value of less than $75,000 by Mr. Leonard.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'd like to present item number 94, parts A through U. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $75,000 or less. This item is presented for your information only and no action is necessary, but I'd be glad to try and answer any questions.
These items were discussed in detail in our committee meeting. If there's no questions, Mr. Leonard, you are recognized to present the item number 95, change orders greater than 75,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Present item number 95, parts A through double D. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. Your approval is recommended and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
On this one, are there any questions?
John, a question, Bob Peterson here. And I know it's gone over in the committee, but just for my own clarity, agenda item 95DD. Under the site requirement, it says the change provides payment for the overrun of numerous pay items required to complete project due to plan errors and various unforeseen site conditions experienced by the contractor. Remind me again when the contractor absorbs these and when ODOT does for unforeseen site conditions and plan errors.
Anytime there's a plan error or an unforeseen site condition, the department pays for it. That's why we've presented this change order here today.
Right, and so that when it says plan errors, does that mean that Poe made plan errors, or? I guess I'm trying to understand where fault lies. I know that there can be unforeseen site conditions, but I guess I keyed on plan errors and wondered again if that was the designer's fault or if that was just what happens.
In all likelihood, or, we probably wouldn't have worded it that way. And of course, if there are any errors that are directly attributable to Poe, then we would, see if they're recoverable or not.
Okay, all right. Just, again, I know that was gone over by the other committee, but a couple words jumped out at me and I just wanted to ask. So thank you.
And this has got several pay items on it, and I'd be more than glad to send you and the other members, a breakdown of each of the items and how.
I'm good. If you're comfortable with the way it's been handled and imposed responsibility or lack thereof, I'm totally fine. Thank you.
You've heard that presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
Forge, move for approval.
Do I have a second?
Peterson, second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCowen, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Thank you, John. Item number 96 is proposed bid openings by Mr. Hackney.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 96, proposed bid openings consists of the final September 2021, the tentative October 2021, and the tentative November 2021 bid openings. The department recommends approval.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Grimsley, second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCowen, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Carried by unanimous. Item number 97 is settlement of claim for payment of additional aggregate base type A to Crossland Heavy Contractors. Mr. Davis, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Sean Davis, Director of Operations. Have agenda item number 97. This is a claim for payment of additional aggregate base on project STP 255C 430, 431 in the hole in Oklahoma County District 4. The contractor is Crossland Heavy Contractors. This was a grade, drain, surface, and sidewalk and city street job on Britton Road out near State Highway 74. This contract was awarded by the Transportation Commission in December of 2018 to Crossland Heavy Contractors for a contract amount of $3,954,000. Construction started on this project in January of 2019 with a complete by date of November of 2019. Early in the project, it was discovered that several utilities crossed the roadway at depths of approximately 6 inches below the subgrade, interfering with the planned 8-inch stabilized subgrade. Relocating the utilities would have added months to this already highly sensitive project. It was decided to replace the planned stabilization with 6 inches of aggregate base, which allowed the project to move forward. This new item cost, along with a previous substitution of dow jointed concrete pavement for the planned plain jointed concrete pavement approved through change order number 1, exceeded the statutory 10% limit. The contractor has filed a claim for differing site conditions pursuant to the standard specification 109.04 and is seeking additional compensation of $142,914.36 for items of work that were performed but have not yet been compensated. The entitlement for this claim is recognized by the department and is recognized that the commission authorizes settlement for this claim in the aforementioned amount of $142,914.36. Approval is recommended, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
Can I ask, Mr. Chairman, was there ever a change order put in on this? Was there any monies paid to a change order?
There has not, we paid up to the planned quantity on the ag base. This, what's exceeded this 10% statutory limit has not been paid yet. It will be coming across in a future change order if this is approved. Yes, sir.
Is there not a number of inches or feet that utilities and contractors are required to bury stuff?
There is, sir. This is a local government project. We have no control over those utilities, probably put in, quite a while ago. On these kind of projects, we just accept the word of the local entity that the utilities are out of the way before we go to work. So this was not discovered until we got out.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second, don't we?
I make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Forge, second.
Any other discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
Forge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item number 98, Mr. Dels, you're recognized to present.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Anthony Dels, Office Engineer Division. Item number 98, our recommendation from the June 17th bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from the June 17th bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. That's call order 705, 710, 715, 740, 745, 750, 755, 760, 770, 775, 780, 795, 800, 805, 815, 818, 820, 825, 830, 835, 840, 845, 850, 855, and 865. It is recommended that the following items from the June 17th bid opening referred to by call order be rejected. And that's call order 720, 725, 730, and 735. This concludes our recommendations for award, and your approval is requested.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
Forge, move for approval.
Excuse me, Peterson, question for Anthony, please. The rejected call orders were primarily, I think you and I emailed, and it was the contractors are blaming those bids on asphalt prices?
Yes, fuel costs have really caused our asphalt prices to go up. Anything associated with that, trucking, aggregates, things like that, we've noticed a jump in those prices, and that's what you're seeing in those call orders.
So since those prices aren't likely to mitigate in a while or moderate, what are your intentions with these jobs?
As of right now, the division's going to go back and look at those estimates and put it back out for bid.
Okay. I mean, presumably the engineer, whenever those estimates were made, obviously asphalt prices were considerably lower.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Passed unanimous. Item number 99 is the Director's Report. Secretary Gass.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We are seeing a little bit of volatility in some of our bid prices, and I think we're seeing that across the board. If you're trying to get something constructed right now, it can be a little bit challenging on occasion. And as Anthony points out, certainly fuel prices have an impact, but we will make adjustments accordingly in our estimating process and try to get better aligned. So something we're paying close attention to. I'd open this morning talking just a little bit about what's going on in the Congress as they advance some infrastructure legislation. The House of Representatives has recently moved forward with a bill related to the reauthorization of the highway infrastructure program. That's just a single version. The Senate is also advancing a bill to accomplish a reauthorization of the highway program. Both of those pieces of legislation are getting a lot of media attention, and there's a lot of focus on infrastructure. The good news is that everybody's talking about it right now, and they certainly need to be. Our infrastructure needs help. We need to make additional investments and try to grow our ability to manage our infrastructure for the long term. The Congress has been uniquely focused on it. We've certainly stayed in close communication with our congressional delegation, both on the House side and our two senators. And again, lots of good discussion going on, lots of good things happening in DC. But at the same time, there's a little bit of confusion because the Biden administration is advancing an infrastructure bill at the same time that seeks to make an investment that highways are a component piece of, but that's a much broader look at infrastructure. So a little bit of confusion, a little bit of mix up because we have all of this happening at once, and it has one like word in it, and that's infrastructure. So again, I just wanted to make that clarification. We will keep you gentlemen posted as the highway bill authorization advances or as the larger infrastructure investment advances with any details that are available. Right now, the one thing that's a component piece of all of those is increased investment, and that's going to be important. And again, we've got to find ways to continue to make the investments that we're going to need in our highway infrastructure and other modes of transportation for the future. But I wanted to touch on that just a little bit, talk about some of the different things that are making their way through the Congress right now. You're hearing a little bit of a renewed discussion around congressionally designated spending requests. And we, again, are working very closely with our congressional delegation to make sure they understand the projects that are in need of those types of funds. And we'll seek to take advantage if those opportunities present in the final versions of the legislation. We also received some good news about our infra grant proposal. One of our infra grants was approved. That was the Interstate 40 and Douglas Boulevard interchange at Tinker Air Force Base. That is an interchange there at Douglas. It's one of the primary access points to the Air Force Base. And it also includes a widening of Interstate 40 from the Douglas interchange extending east to Interstate 240 to connect with the recent work we've done there at Choctaw Road. That was a $51 million grant. We really appreciate the support of Oklahoma's delegation. Congresswoman Bice and Senator Inhofe certainly were a big factor in taking a hard look at that infra grant, and we appreciate their support. Again, that'll allow us to accelerate that project and move forward quickly. We also received good news on a partnership project that we've got down at the Red River on Interstate 35 with the Texas Department of Transportation and the Chickasaw Nation. And that is, you've heard me talk about Texas widening Interstate 35. And, 20 years ago, we were talking about that Texas coming north with 8 lanes out of Dallas. And it was kind of hard to wrap my mind around that they were ever going to be able to accomplish it. And they're really close to the Red River right now. And this project moves them a step closer. We were a supporter and a partner along with the Chickasaw Nation with TxDOT, but that project did receive a $50 million infra grant approval. And we look forward to working with that partnership to deliver a good project down there that'll ultimately replace the Red River Bridge and make its way into Oklahoma with a much improved Interstate 35 facility. So exciting news on the infra grant front this past month. Want to touch base briefly on a report released by the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency, LOFT, on the County Improvements for Roads and Bridges program. The CIRB program, the department administers on behalf of the state. We work very closely with county commissioners and circuit engineering districts in our administration of that program. I think, again, LOFT did a really good job. I very much appreciate the work of their team and the expertise that they brought to bear in their review of the program. They've made some recommendations, for example, around trying to enhance communication with the school districts about load posted bridges that potentially could impact a school bus route in a county. And we've already taken some steps to beef up that communication effort and make sure that we're communicating with the local administration on the education side. And so again, lots of good things in the report. There's a focus around some issues and recommendations about how we administer the program that really ventures into the realm of jurisdictional authorities. The department has some limitation on our ability to direct projects on the county system without the full support of the Board of County Commissioners. So again, there are going to be some challenges in trying to develop and implement some of the recommendations. But at the same time, I'll tell you, it was good work and we're very appreciative of their effort. The CIRB, as you gentlemen are familiar, that program has been very effective at helping the counties accomplish some projects out there on the county road system that just wouldn't get done without it. It brings resources to replace major bridge infrastructure and really improve primary roads in the counties that carry a lot of the traffic volume. So good program. We certainly appreciate Lof's work and look forward to trying to find ways to implement some of their management recommendations. So the Transportation Modernization Initiative final report has been issued. Again, that's been a year-long effort that we have had ongoing, working with both our staff and our consultant Guidehouse. That draft final report has been developed and you gentlemen have received a copy of it. It has got really solid background. There's been a tremendous amount of work done by the department staff, by the Turnpike Authority staff, and by Aeronautics Commission personnel in making sure that we had a good result that came from that report. And again, modernization is about looking for ways that the Transportation Cabinet can begin to blend resources across the agencies, enhance our efficiencies, enhance our communications, and really serve the citizens better. And that's a major focus here. The modernization is a long-term initiative, and I really want to add emphasis to that because some of the things are relatively easy to change. We've started on some of them already. We've got strategic communications that Jessica is going to head up that is going to serve the entirety of the Transportation Cabinet. That makes sense for the long term. We've got some other areas that we're working on, like our Office of Mobility and Public Transit, our Rail Division, and our Waterways Division coming together under one unit. And that makes a lot of sense. That'll bring efficiencies. Audit is another area that's going to be early focus for us on the internal side, where we can create an audit group that'll serve the entirety of the Transportation Cabinet. There are longer term initiatives that deal with some of our maintenance activities and operations out in our field districts that'll take longer to implement. A lot of that is being driven by the need to manage our fiscal plant, our facilities out there better, and make sure that we can provide the type of working environment that our employees are going to need for the future. And that is a long-range perspective that's very important. The other thing that's encompassed within the report is a hard look at the district boundaries that exist today. And any adjustment to the district boundaries, we recognize would take legislative action and approval and then statutory change. That's a much longer term initiative. That's going to have a lot of discussion around what looks right and how that might be able to work. The general recommendation is going from 8 districts to 5 districts. But again, that's a pretty heavy lift. That is something that's going to require a lot of discussion around the really the composition of what that district change might look like. Again, I think our team did a good job of synthesizing the amount of infrastructure that exists out there across the state, making some adjustments to those boundaries to try to create a more equitable balance across the state of Oklahoma. Therefore, you might achieve a more equitable investment formula. But again, there's a tremendous amount of work that would need to go into that, and that's more of a long-term look and a long-term initiative. I'd like to recognize a few folks. The executive team on all fronts, the Department of Transportation, Turnpike, and Aeronautics had a huge role in this. Guidehouse did tremendous work, and I want to thank their team. With ODOT in particular, Elizabeth Blaze, Anthony Dels, Anthony Kelly, Holly Lowe, Chad Penley, Jared Swinison, and Tara Moore. I can't thank them enough because they put a tremendous amount of effort into working on this initiative for the last year. They've gone far above and beyond their normal duties in order to accommodate this because they did their regular jobs too. So again, I want to thank them for all the work that they put in. And I want to thank the entirety of the Department of Transportation because we've gotten a lot of good feedback from all levels of the agency. And it went into creating a report here that I think is a good framework for us to try to move forward with in the future. You've got a lot of detail to it. They've done a tremendous job of giving us the reasoning behind some of the changes that they're recommending. And again, I'm excited about it. As we move forward with any one of the recommendations, it'll transform from a draft that's included in the report into a final effort and a final initiative. So look forward to working on it as we go forward into the future. But I did want to bring that to your attention. That report's completed. Certainly, this is going to be an ongoing conversation as we continue to make adjustments and make some refinements in the interest of trying to make sure we're leveraging resources across the cabinet. That's the goal. I also want to point out that we recently received an award from the governor at the 3rd Annual Governor's Leadership Summit that happened last month in June. And we're one of 7 state agencies recognized for outstanding work. And our recognition was specific to the transportation cabinet and the modernization effort that we're going through as we search for ways to increase value and efficiency through our efforts. And we are going to continue to focus on leveraging those and sharing those resources to better serve the public. So I thought that was something worthy of mentioning. We're pretty excited about that early recognition of the effort and look forward to continuing good work to implement it. From a safety perspective, our Buckle Up initiative is continuing to make progress. You've heard me say many times that the lack of seatbelt usage in Oklahoma is one of the significant factors in motorists, with more than half of the fatalities that we experience here not using a seatbelt. So that's something we as a state have got to continue to work on. We've got a PSA that's been produced that's called No Excuse. That's just one tactic. I think, Brenda, do we have it queued up? Mr. Chairman, I'd like at this time just to give you a little bit of a sample of what that PSA is going to look like for this month. So,
I forgot to put it on.
It's uncomfortable and annoying.
You can't tell me what to do.
It's just a short trip.
I've never needed it before.
My car is already really safe.
I'm a safe driver. A crash won't happen to me.
Until it does. Oklahoma ranks among the worst states for seatbelt usage. Don't be that driver. There's no excuse to not buckle up.
So that PSA will be stood up and run. Again, we rank 43rd nationally in seatbelt use. We've got to get better. And we've had a primary seatbelt on the books, seatbelt law on the books since the mid-90s. And we really have to put a focus on this and improve, because whether or not we've got a primary seatbelt law or not, the law of physics cannot be overcome. And when you are in an accident and you're not buckled in, there's so many things that can happen, and the inertia that's generated by that accident is so significant that you're going to have a hard time surviving. So we can build safe highways. We can do our absolute best to provide the best experience to the traveling public that we can, but your first line of safety is buckling that seatbelt every time you're in a vehicle. Again, appreciate everybody's work on putting that PSA together, and look forward to having better experiences out on our highways in the future. Mr. Chairman, with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that any of the commissioners might have of me, and would acknowledge, if I might, it's good to see you gentlemen. Very much like the return to something that looks like a little bit more normal of a commission meeting. I think virtual opportunities in our future are necessary. I think that gives chances, and it needs more work, but I think that gives chances for everybody to participate at a higher level in our commission process and our commission meetings, including our commissioners. But it is good to see everybody, and glad to see something a little bit more normal. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I'd answer any questions.
Are there any questions anyone has?
Just have, one comment on the last part. About 8 years ago, my son was in a very severe automobile accident and spent weeks in ICU and everything. The one thing that saved his life was seatbelt. And, he's very meticulous. He will not even start moving his vehicle unless everyone's buckled up, but it did save his life. So it's critically important.
I'd like to make a follow-up comment on the seatbelt. I believe this would probably take legislative action to do, but I think another reason that so many people are not fastening their seatbelts out there, I've seen firsthand in litigation cases where the defendant is not allowed to show to the plaintiffs that the person asking for damages never had their seatbelt on. And there's laws restricting that it don't have to be presented to a jury trial or to plaintiffs, that a person in the automobile that got injured never had their seatbelt on. I believe that should be changed, and I would change people's minds to hook these seatbelts up, because you're not only taking a chance for yourself, but your chance of getting rewarded for not having a seatbelt on also goes out the window. And I really believe there should be legislative changes on that.
Commissioner, I think that's something worthwhile to look into, and we'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
Other comments? If there's no other comments, I'd hear a motion for item number 100, which is adjournment.
So move.
Second, anybody?
Second.
All in favor? No, let's see. Do a roll call. Never mind. Madam Secretary, please
Mr.
call the roll.
Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Primary, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Dyson,
Dyson, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. LaForge,
LaForge, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Peterson, yes, and I look forward to being there in person next month. Sorry for the virtual call-in.
Passed by unanimous vote, and we are adjourned.
The stream has ended.